Hello, Mambi. Tali pa to. My baby.
Yes, Sir Lard.
Si.
I'm here.
Amo nga. Si, buenas contigo. Update lang contigo por sa tiyan kasi kami IR meeting regarding ko na study aton virtual orientation del data. Pero
Okay.
amo gani ka yaman asi kita. Hello, Mambi. Tawid conmigo.
Sige, go. Si.
Sir Lard, good morning. Can you hear me? Sir Lard?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Test lang yung mic, sir. Pasensya ya. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Sir Lard. We also can hear you, sir. Bale, we already admitted the participants, sir.
Yes, sige, Sir Lard, go. Okay, Sir Lard. Tauyo. Open niya ba sa YouTube? Jot? Off ba? Off?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
While discussing si Sir Lard, tauya kela dyan, di pa?
Actually, yes, ma'am. So maybe we can start, ma'am, and maybe later we can discuss about this afterwards.
Okay.
So, good morning, everyone. Before we start, may I request everyone to kindly please rename your profile to your HEI name, abbreviated dash your name.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Mayong buntag. Before we will proceed to our program, please rename your profile to your HEI name, abbreviated, dash your name for easy and faster acknowledgement later during the open forum. Thank you very much. May we request everyone to please be reminded of the do's and don'ts during the virtual meeting. Again, should you have questions or if you wish to raise questions, you may write your questions on our chat box. Or you may raise your hand so that you can be recognized. Once recognized, please unmute your microphone and raise your questions. By the way, you can already send your questions before the open forum, and we will read and answer them later. Thank you. The recent health crisis we are facing today is indeed a challenge to each and every one of us. Despite that, we learn to be more health conscious, be creative in our own ways, and of course, we became resilient. Thankfully, we have our technology with us as we get to meet and be together virtually. Hence, today marks another day of being together for a virtual orientation in relations to the academic year 2020-2021 Higher Education Data Collection and Quick Survey on Enrollment Graduates and HEI Personnel. Our aim for this event is to orient our higher education institutions on the different forms for the data collection as well as the quick survey mandated by the Commission. We will also have discussions with the different identified and concerned people from both private and public HEIs. To start with our program, we shall now have the Philippine National Anthem, and this will be followed by the Interfaith Prayer by a multimedia presentation.
Dakilang may likha sa kalingat pang-unawa, mangyari ang iyong diwa sa langit at sa lupa.
Allahumma innaka tara anna hadhihi al-qulub قد اجتمعت على محبتك واتقت على هذه المكان إيمانك وتوحدت على دعوتك ووثق ربيطاتها يا الله وأدم أدها واملأها بنورك الذي لا يخبو واسرح صدورنا بفائد الإيمان بك وجميل توكل عليك واهدنا سبل الوحدة والسلام والصلاح ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار يا الله أنت مستجاب لهذا الدعاء وعليك توكلنا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين آمين الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, our loving Father, Creator of heaven and earth, we thank you for your generosity and kindness, and ask that you hear us in times of needs. Make us worthy of your blessing, and keep us from further want. Help us restore our abundance here on earth, so that we may turn more attention to your divine kingdom. Help us become a blessing to our family and others, to glorify and honor your name. We ask this to our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Iadya nyo kami sa pagmamataas upang maiwaksi ang lupit at dahas. At samahang lumikha ng pamayanang payapa sa kalikasan kabuhayan. Kakanyahat paniniwala.
Good morning once again. Before we will proceed to the next part of our program, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Jacinta Artan, our OIC Chief Education Program Specialist, Dr. Abelardo P. Morok, OIC Supervising Education Program Specialist, and our education supervisors for the different programs. We also have with us, and we would like to acknowledge the presence of our registrars from the different public and private higher education institutions, together with their respective MIS officers and encoders. At this point, may we now have Dr. Jacinta R. Tan, our OIC Chief Education Program Specialist, to formally welcome us in this virtual event.
Okay, good morning to everyone. Dr. Rodi P. Garcia, our OIC Regional Director, officers and members of the Association of the Registrars in Region 9, Registrar of the University and colleges, deans and program heads of private higher education institutions and state universities and colleges, as well as the local universities and colleges. My colleagues in the commission, headed by Dr. Abelardo Moro, our OIC SEPs, different supervisors of the programs. We have, I would specifically would like to mention Dr. Joan Coresma for teacher education. We have our CPA Conrad Kilab for business program, Dr. Shamir Kasim for USUCOM, Ms. Claire Alvarez for science, math, science and math and our OIC. Engineer Jenny Domingsil for the engineering program, Mr. JB Regalado for hotel and tourism industry, and Dr. Encarnacion for the maritime program. So this is an annual gathering of this prestigious data collection, and this is in coordination in compliance with the CMO 45/2016, which is an annual higher education data and information collection. The purpose or the rationale of this gathering annually is that the CHED is mandated to collect, collate, and store and disseminate data and information needed by the public and stakeholders to make informed choices and decisions. After getting all the data, this will be collating nationwide, because the Commission also needs higher education data and information as a basis for formulating policies on instruction, research, and extension, as well for monitoring the higher education sector's progress. I believe with this kind of approach that we have, we will still have to meet the objectives for these gatherings, because at the same time, the objective of the CMO is to update the habit for institutional, regional, and national making for its planning and monitoring. From the regional office as well, we also need this data to get information for our data banking, because from time to time, our stakeholders are always asking us data needed for their purpose. Your attendance this morning manifests your full support to the Commission and to fulfill your responsibilities in the records management, both to the public offices or to your schools and your institutions as well for the private sectors. CHED also publishes in our website market data and information for students and parents to guide them in making their important choices and decisions that they need for higher education. For 2020-2021, this is a new normal activity on how we are going to gather this data. This is a challenge to all of us, but we need to be flexible to suit the situation. Let us adopt this kind of new technology for this 2020-2021, because we cannot sacrifice the data needed to meet our objectives. Let us continue and move forward of what is expected from each and every one of us. So we are looking forward for a fruitful activity. Enjoy while we work, because this is the essence of fulfillment for everybody. So good day and God bless.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tan. Before anything else, we are also live at YouTube. Moving on, we have with us an important personality who will be giving to us his inspiring message. Please welcome our dashing and vibrant OIC Regional Director, Dr. Roddy P. Garcia, for his inspirational message. Doc. Doc Roddy. Hello, Doc Roddy. I guess Dr. Roddy Garcia. Okay. I think there is a technical problem. Okay, in few seconds, I guess Dr. Roddy can now give us his inspirational message.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Doc, we can hear you.
Okay, my
Yes,
apology
sir.
for I have to change from laptop to my desktop due to technical problem. So thank you so much to the planning office of this commission. In particular, the planning officer and the people working with him, Sir JB, Sir Sid, and the top management who is actually giving so much guidance to this office, to our Chief Education Program Specialist, Dr. Tan, as well as to our Supervising Education Program Specialist, Dr. Morok, and to our AO for providing us financial resources to make this activity possible this morning. We have heard exactly as to what is the intention as well as the goal of this day's engagement is to really collect the data. And of course, before going further, let me also acknowledge the participants from different HEIs as well as our records officer and registrars. I know you are here in this engagement today because this is very vital for us to have common understanding as to the process and the new programs or guidelines that we have for our college registrars, and at the same time as to the importance and significance of the data that you are going to input in our survey, online survey. So thank you for the participants that we have today, and of course I would like to thank also the presidents for allowing our participants to be in this virtual conference. Okay, what is really the importance of data? You know very well that any decision that to make it very significant or vital to the vital information is based on the data presented by any agency. In the case of higher education or the Commission on Higher Education, we bank so much the data that the higher education submitted to us every year. This data, this will be used for policy implication by the top management, especially that this time of pandemic, we are looking at the number of enrollees, whether it increases or decreases. In fact, in order to assist those who are affected, especially for those having back accounts for students in their previous semester, This is to inform you that the Commission is giving out financial assistance of 7,500 for 30 students in each HEI, private HEI. So we really want to get data from your end. We really want to know how many of those students failed to attend enroll this semester in order for them to more or less go back to school and get financial assistance from our end, from the Commission on Higher Education. Aside from that, we are also looking at whether the quality of education is getting better here in the region by having number of faculty with masters and doctorate degree aligned to their specialization or fields of specialization. For Region 9, based on our data submitted, more or less only about 30% of the faculty with master's degree relevant to their field of specialization, as well as about 9% of this faculty are having a doctorate degree aligned to their specialization. We want to see and we want to do some interventions in order to increase this one. In fact, we have launched our CCAP under K-12 transition program is to address this issue in order for us. Remember that our faculty is the heart of the instructions. It's their mastery that counts in relation to the improvement of quality and enhancement of quality in higher education institutions. We want also to get data directly from you. We also want to get also data. You also want to get also data as to the number of students, as to how many of them are male or female or belong to the your gender preference, because this is also very important for us to know exactly as to what interventions we can do, whether a certain program is full of male students or a certain program is majority or dominant by female students. All of this data that we need to collect today via this survey will be actually very important for the top management to decide what particular activities or plans or programs for to address some issues and concerns. So, my dear college registrars, my colleagues in the commission, as well as I encourage the presidents of higher education institutions to really empower your people and guide them to submit data on time, regularly as requested by the commission, because as I made mention earlier, that data is really the fundamental requirement for any decision making of the commission. So with that, my dearest participants this morning, and to my colleagues, wish you all the luck, and hopefully we can attain the goal of this conference. Thank you, and mabuhay kayong lahat. Keep safe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garcia, for the inspiring message. Indeed, any significant information for policy making is always based on data. As you have been saying, data is gold. Thank you, Dr. Garcia, for the inspiration and guidance, as well as the updates regarding the new programs offered by the Commission. At this point, Engineer Joseph Lucy Santa Teresa, Education Supervisor, as well as the Planning Officer, will now present and discuss CMO 45 series of 2016 and the quick survey form run-through.
Thank you, Sir JV, and good morning, everyone. So before I would go through the quick survey form run-through, I will be discussing first to you CMO 45 series of 2016, which is the legal basis on why we are actually conducting this activity. So the CHED Memorandum number 45 series of 2016 is actually the annual higher education data information collection. So this is the CMO that was issued by the former chairperson, Dr. Patricia Licuanan, which will be actually the annual higher education data information collection. So that means it will be done every year as because the Commission is mandated to collect, collate, and store and disseminate data and information needed by the public and stakeholders to make informed choices and decisions. So as mentioned earlier by Dr. Tan, the Commission also needs higher education data information as basis for formulating policies on instruction, research, and extension, as well as for monitoring the higher education sector's progress, which was also stressed by our regional director. So moving on, next slide, please. So the objectives are actually the following. So first is to update the higher education management information system for institutional, regional, and national decision-making, planning, and monitoring. So every year we have to update because every year our data changes. So to collect up-to-date and complete data from state universities and colleges for the normative funding application. So this is actually also needed for SUC for their normative funding application, wherein their funding are being based on the data that they are submitting to the Commission. So for the public and private HEIs with no computer-based system, this is actually to provide an electronic spreadsheet-based HEMIS for HEI administrators and the other concerned officials and staff as a tool for managing their academic programs. So if the HEI do not have, as of the moment, computer-based system to store their data, so the Commission is already providing you at least with a basic spreadsheet-based higher education management information system sheets. And next is, of course, to publish at the CHED website market data information for students and parents to guide them in making informed choices and decisions pertaining to higher education. So the coverage of this CMO is that this CMO covers all public and private higher education institutions in the country. So that means it covers all the private higher HEIs and also the state universities and colleges and local universities and colleges and other colleges that is being supervised by the Commission. So the forms templates described in this memo shall be used annually for data collection. Any revision of the forms to accommodate new data needs shall be duly disseminated to the HEIs through CHED regional offices and CHED website. So as you have also received the CHED regional memorandum, so this is actually one of the medium that we are informing HEIs of the annual data collection and the forms that are needed to be filled. So what are the responsibilities of the head of HEIs and of the regional office? So the HEI and president, the HEI president or head rather, should see to it that his or her institution submits data on time. So, and also to certify the completeness and the correctness of the data submitted. All data submitted by the HEIs to CHED may be subjected for further verification by the CHED or DBM in the case of the SUCs. So, HEIs that do not submit data to CHED shall be excluded from the list of recognized higher education institutions. So, I hope that this is clear to everyone, as this is already a CHED memorandum order. So all recognized higher education posted at the CHED website for HEIs who do not submit, so there will be repercussions for that. So you will be excluded from the list of recognized higher education institutions. Likewise, their researchers will not be given access to pertinent higher education data until said HEI submit complete data to CHED based on the prescribed data collection forms hereto indicated. So for president's heads, registrars, human resource officers, planning officers, management information systems, and IT staff of all higher education institutions, CHED regional office directors, and CHED regional office HEMI staff are hereby urged to give full-hearted their cooperation. So we are all in this together and we learn as one. So next slide, please. So for the confidentiality of data submitted by a higher education institution to CHED, so the data and information provided by a higher education institution to CHED shall be considered confidential in nature, and as such, data or information may not be divulged to any person except upon the consent of the concerned HEI in writing or upon proper process by a duly authorized body or agency acting in the performance of its duties. So the CHED actually adheres to the data privacy policies. So any information that is being submitted by the HEIs, it is kept in confidentiality, and any release of data, we make sure that no data will be compromised or no information will be revealed unless there is the consent from the concerned HEIs. So any provisions from the previous issued CMOs related to higher education data collection that are inconsistent with this order are hereby suspended. So the effectivity of this memorandum was last August 10, 2016. So until now, it is still in effect because there has been no CMO issued to supersede this annual higher education data information collection. So at this point, I will be proceeding with the run through of the forms for the quick survey. So as you have received all HEIs, we have sent out a memo. In that memo, there is a link for the quick survey form and other links for the forms to be filled by the higher education institution for the HEMIS. So for the quick survey on enrollment and graduates and the HEI personnel, so this is actually the deadline for this will be on, I believe, November 15. Is that correct, Sir JV? November 15. So that is why before you start filling in those information on the quick survey, we would like to at least give an orientation so that you would know what information to be placed on the fields that are being asked. So this form contains questions. Sid, can you move back to the top? So this forms contains questions which will be used to collect the annual year 2020-2021 enrollment and the annual year 2019-2020 graduates and HEI personnel data as part of the integrated initiatives of the Philippine higher education sector in mitigating the impacts of the coronavirus disease 2019 or the COVID-19. The information will be collected at the HEI level as facilitated by the designated official. The online survey will be closed. This was actually November 16, but November 6, but it is extended to November 15. So for consolidation and the processing of the CHED office. So please ensure that you are the authorized respondent to this survey as assigned by your HEI because this data is very vital and will be used as basis for decision making and policy formulation. So your participation is greatly appreciated. So for the fields that will be asked on the forms, if you will be logging into the forms, into the link that was given to you in the memorandum, so what is being asked is the email address. So for the email address, I advise that you provide the email address of the institution. So it's not necessary to provide your personal email address or the focal person's email address. So please provide the email address of your institution so that any information that will be sent will be officially received by the institution. So I know the institution will be forwarding the message to you, but the email address, I advise that you provide the email address of the institution. So certification, the responses that will be provided to these questions in this survey, this is for you to certify that all of them are true and correct, and that you are giving full consent and that everything is under the Republic Act 10173 or otherwise known as the Data Privacy Act or other applicable laws and regulations. So let's proceed. So you will also be asking to certify that you are the designated officer to answer this survey. And then, of course, kindly indicate for item number 3 the name of the designated officer for this survey. So please indicate the name of the person. And then for item number 4, please indicate the designation or the position of the person who is answering the survey. And then for the item number 5, for the contact number, so this time for the contact number, this is for you to provide the mobile number for the designated person or the focal person who will be answering this survey. So this is actually to be able to contact the person right away in cases that there are certain clarifications that we need to make regarding the data submitted. So please provide here at the contact number the mobile number of the person designated to answer the survey form. So overview of the survey, to provide an idea of the data and information needed for this survey. So we are providing a link to the offline PDF version of this survey. This link will allow you to review all the questions in one window. So this is actually the link wherein you can download the PDF version of the survey. So before you start answering the survey online, you can actually download the PDF version so that you can answer some of the items beforehand or refer it to the certain divisions or unit before inputting your answers and before inputting it on the online survey form. So for higher education, institution, region, kindly indicate or mark region 9. Please do not mark any other regions because all higher education institutions who are attending this right now belongs to region 9. So if you will be indicating other regions, your data will fall on the database of other regions. So please don't make a mistake and please mark region 9 for our region. And then for the name of the higher education institution, kindly put the name of your higher education institution. Please do not abbreviate. So kindly put the entire full name of your higher education institution. And then, of course, for the opening of classes, for the start of classes of annual year 2020-2021, mark only one oval. So please indicate what month you started with the opening of your classes. So if you are temporarily closed due to pandemic, please indicate that also. There are options there. If you are temporarily closed due to other reasons, also please indicate. And of course, for those who are still attending but are permanently closed due to COVID-19, please also indicate. So for those who are temporarily closed, that means for this year, you have not operated your institution. So that means you opted to temporarily close and proceed on the following year, which is 2020-2021 school year. So for those other institutions who have permanently closed, which means that they will not be operating anymore even after this school year, so that those are the HEIs that have permanently closed. So kindly indicate them if you are temporarily or permanently closed. But if you have already started your classes, please indicate what month you have started. So next, for the questions for HEI. Question number 9, what is your HEI primary strategy for delivering instruction in the current semester or term? So mark only one oval. So please indicate if you are using a fully online system. So that means your flexible learning modality is fully online. When we say mostly online with available offline modes, so that means at least 51% above or 60 to 70% you are using online but is being supplemented by printed course packets, or you have portable LMS or radio and the other printed materials or modules. So that is mostly online. That means you are using online supplemented by offline modes of learning. And then if you have 50-50, so that means that is equally distributed. You are using online modality and of course offline modality also, which means that you are conducting or delivering your instruction online and the other half is on printed course packets or other modes that are also available. And then when you say mostly offline, so these are modalities that most of your delivery is offline. So that means you are using printed course packets and then you are only using minimal online interaction or online mode of delivery. And then when we say that you are fully offline mode, so that means you are not using anymore any online mode of delivery. So that means you are fully offline. So that means you are using printed course packets. Portable LMS means that these are actually uh, those that are using electronics but are offline. For example, if you have USBs that you are giving out your students, so the use of USBs to be used in computers is actually an offline mode. So you are not using anything online. Indicating online means that you are actually accessing the internet or using the online platforms. Okay, next. So are there classes conducted in the HEI that use a limited face-to-face mode? So kindly indicate, please be honest to your answer if you are conducting or if you are conducting limited face-to-face mode for this semester or for this school year. So kindly indicate yes or no, but please be advised that we already have advisory number 7 issued before, and the commission discouraged the face-to-face mode. So remember that even if your local government unit or your local IATF has approved for a face-to-face mode, be informed that the approval or the permission has to be granted by the commission if you are a tertiary um, education institution. So that means if you are a higher education institution, if the local IATF would allow it, you still need to seek permission from CHED for a face-to-face mode. So kindly indicate if you conducted any face-to-face, yes or no. And then for your modules, so do you have modules or course packets prepared for flexible or online learning? So kindly mark only one. So if you do not have any modules or course packs prepared for flexible or online learning, please indicate no if there are none. And then if you have, but you only have the first part and then you are still preparing the second part or the later part of the module, so kindly choose yes, ongoing preparation. And then if you have completely finished or you have all the modules ready for the entire semester, and then there are no modules that are being anymore created, kindly answer yes, finished and ready for use. And then next for the enrollment. So if you have started enrollment activities, indicate the enrollment figures as of October 23, 2020, regardless if you have started classes or not. If there is no data on enrollment yet, please input 9999. So kindly please take note of this, that if there is no data on the enrollment yet, please input please input 9999, okay? So that means that there is no data. So you have to input for the number of enrollees for annual year 2020 first year, so that this is the total population, male and female. And then you have, of course, second year, and then third year, and then fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, and seventh year and above. So there are institutions that are offering the straight doctor program. For example, the Doctor of Medicine, so that is a 6-year program. So that is why they have up to enrollees for the 6th year. And then for your graduates, number of graduates, so you have the number of graduates for the annual year 2019-2020. And now going on with the HEI personnel information. So these are the full-time. So how many full-time faculty members did you have in the last trimester of annual year 2019-2020? So kindly indicate how many full-time faculty members you have. And then next, from your answer in number 20, how many full-time faculty member will be deloaded? So that means that the faculty members will still remain employed with the HEI, but their workload has been reduced or they have been deloaded, but they are still employed with the HEI or still remain with the HEI. So these are employees who are with the HEI. So these are not employees that has been removed or their contract has not been renewed. So they are still with the HEI, okay? And then for number 22, can we proceed with number 22, sir? Okay, so for number 22, for your answer in number 20, how many of these are full-time faculty members who were retrenched or laid off? So these are actually the faculties who were laid off, yung mga end of contract or those who are not renewed. And then for 23, the total number of full-time faculty members for annual year 2020-2021. So if you are being asked only for the number, please only put the number like, for example, 23, 24. Do not anymore put 23 faculty or 24 faculty. Just indicate the number 23 or 24. And the next is for the HEI personal information part. This is for the part-time. So how many part-time faculty members did you have in the last semester or trimester of 2019 and 2020? And then for question 25, how many of these part-time who were deloaded or given or reduced their teaching load were reduced, but they are still with the HEI or still employed with the HEI. And then on number 26, from your answer in number 28, how many part-time faculty members in the previous term were displaced? So these were those who were not given teaching load anymore. And then for number 27, you have the total number of part-time faculty for the annual year 2020 and 2021. So ilan na lang ngayon for the year of annual year 2020 and 2021. And then proceeding with the HEI personal information or the non-teaching. So we have number 28. So how many non-teaching personnel do you have in the last trimester of AY 2019-2020? So the non-teaching personnels are those personnel that are not teaching. So these are those who are under the administrative unit or those staff or other personnel in the institution that do not teach. Okay. And then next is from your answer number 36 for item number 29, how many of these non-teaching personnel were deloaded? So these were personnel with reduced or no workload, but they are still with the HEI. And then for item number 30, how many non-teaching personnel were displaced? So these were personnel separated from the employment with the HEI. Those who were who had end of contract or were released by the HEI and not renewed anymore. And then for number 31, how many non-teaching personnel does your HEI have now for annual year 2020 and 2021? So you just indicate the number of total personnel. Just the number, do not anymore type any other words aside from the numbers that is being asked. So for the submission of survey, has the entire survey been completed by your HEI? So please mark only one oval. So it's yes, so that you can skip section 15 and you can submit the form. And then if you think that there are certain items that you have or you need to change because you have realized on the succeeding questions that you have to include or exclude certain numbers or personnel from counting. So you can review all of your answers by choosing no and then going back to the survey. So once you have completed the survey, kindly don't forget to click the submit button so that it will be forwarded into the database. Otherwise, if you have completed the survey but did not click on the submit button, your answers or the forms will not be submitted or will not be recorded into the database. So that is it for the quick survey. So for those who have already answered, but you think that you have or you need to change your survey forms, kindly resubmit them because we will be, or as advised by the central office, the most latest submission will be the ones that will be counted. So if you have submitted previously and you think that you have, or there is a need for you to change some of your answers, so you can change them and you can resubmit. And then for those who have not yet submitted, kindly answer this quick survey form because this is very urgent, and please take note of all the indicators that I have mentioned earlier, and not to forget all the necessary information that has to be supplied in the forms. So that is it for the quick survey form. And before we proceed or end this morning's discussion, I would like to flash on the screen the link for the downloading of the forms that will be discussed tomorrow for the private and the state universities and colleges and local universities and colleges. So this was the memorandum from the executive director. It is attached together with the regional memorandum that has been issued by the CHED Regional Office 9. So for the quick survey form, as I have already discussed it this morning, so can we browse down the memo, Sid? So there was the link there. So that is where the link you have to click. So that is the http://ched quick survey. So the deadline of submission is on November 15. So kindly submit before November 15. So all HEIs are requested to submit all of the quick survey form before November 15. So this is already part of the CHED annual data collection. So remember that no submission of data will exclude you from the recognized HEI list in the CHED website. And then next is for the annual year 2020 higher education data collection. So currently the check system or the CHED higher education collection knowledge system is currently being serviced. So it is currently being maintained by the central office. So there are changes that has been done with the check system, so it is not yet fully online. So the central office has provided us with the link wherein you can download all the forms for the annual year 2020-2021. So for state universities and colleges, there is a link provided for you. And then for private HEIs and for local universities and colleges and other government schools that are not SUCs, please use the second link provided. So for local universities and colleges, please use the link provided on the second link. Kindly click on those links and then download all the necessary forms that you have to submit. Since you are not, or we are not able to access the check system as of the moment, so we cannot retrieve all of our forms there. So that is why this link is being provided wherein you can download all the necessary forms needed for you to fill in the data for the annual year 2020-2021. Now, if you encounter in the forms that it is not updated to annual year 2021, kindly rename or change the data. What you have to provide is the data for the annual year 2020-2021. So all of the forms are being provided. The forms will be discussed by tomorrow. We have a schedule in the morning for the private HEIs, and then for the afternoon for the state universities and colleges. So for the morning, there is no need for the state universities and colleges to attend. Only the private higher education institutions, local universities and colleges, and other government schools tomorrow morning will be attending the orientation on the filling up of the forms. Please let your MIS officers also attend, your encoders together with the registrars, so that they will know that the necessary data that needs to be inputted. Now for the afternoon session, that will be solely for the state universities and colleges. The reason why we separated, because you have different forms that you need to accomplish. And for the state universities and colleges, we advise that you also let your accountant, your budget, your human resource officer, and your research and extension officers attend the said session for tomorrow afternoon for the filling up of the forms, because some of the forms need to be filled up by the focal person designated for research and extension, and then for budget and other financial forms. And then we also have the forms for the human resource. So it should be filled up by the designated personnel for that forms. And all of the other forms can be filled up by the registrar, as some of the data are from the registrar's office. But other data such as the um, human resource force of the institution, it should be um, filled in by the human resource management officer. And then same with all of the other financial forms that needs to be filled in by the financial unit of the institution. So again, by tomorrow, the forms will be oriented to you. So for the morning session, it will only be for private higher education institution. And then for the afternoon session, it will be for the state universities and colleges. So Sir JV has posted the concerned personnel who will be attending the session, which session they will be attending, the morning or the afternoon. So he already indicated who are those people required to attend those sessions, so that it will be easier for you to fill in all of those forms and to submit them. So if you have any problems in the links or in downloading the forms, kindly contact the CHED Regional Office. We have of course, our CHED registrar's chat group. You can also send your questions there for us to help you with downloading. But for the orientation, it will be tomorrow. So if you have any questions with regards with the forms, kindly just list them down, because we will be discussing them tomorrow during the morning and the afternoon session. So we will not be entertaining yet on the queries regarding the content of the forms. We will just be entertaining on how you would be able to download, and if you have trouble, we will be assisting you on the downloading. But for the contents, it will be discussed tomorrow morning for private HEIs and afternoon for the state universities and colleges. And then for this afternoon, we also have a separate session which will concern only private higher education institutions, specifically the registrars, the deans, and the program heads for this afternoon session. So for the state universities and colleges, you need not to attend this afternoon's session. But for the deans, for state universities and colleges, you may attend. But this session is solely for the registrar and deans and program heads, because it has to do with the records section of the commission. So the records section will be briefing you about the necessary forms that is needed by the record section and for the processing of the special orders, which is the concern of the private higher education institution. So with that, I turn you over back to Sir JV, unless there are questions. And thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Sir JV.
Thank you so much, Engineer Santa Teresa, for the presentation. Before we will proceed with our open forum, please allow me to share screen regarding our schedule for tomorrow. Okay. So again, as a reminder, we have the session for tomorrow. For this afternoon, we have the attendees for registrars, deans, and program heads with private higher educations only for this afternoon. And for tomorrow, we have for day 2, for the morning session, as stated by Engineer Santa Teresa, we will be having private higher education institutions and local universities and colleges. So our attendees would be the registrars, the MIS officers and coders, and the human resource management officer. In the afternoon session, we will have the state universities and colleges, Our attendees would be the registrars, MIS officers and coders, research and extension focal person or director, the accountant, the budget officer, and the human resource management officer. So there you have them. So these are the identified people who will be attending to our different sessions for this afternoon and for tomorrow. So thank you so much. So let us now proceed to our open forum. So again, we are reminding everyone that if you wish to raise questions, you may write your questions on our chat box, or you may raise your hand so that you can be recognized. So once recognized, please unmute your microphone and raise your questions. Thank you. So any questions coming from our participants? Our speaker for today can answer your questions. Anyone? I saw someone who raised his or her hand a while ago, but it was only identified as a real me. Ma'am or sir, do you have any question? You raised hand a while ago.
Maybe, Sir Sid, we could shift to the gallery view so that we could see everyone instead of the slide, so that maybe if there would be someone who would be raising their hand, we could see also. And you could also click on the icons with Zoom if you're familiar on how to raise your hands. Or if you have any questions, you can also right away chat it with our chat box.
So any questions coming from our participants regarding the quick survey questions or quick survey questionnaire?
Yes, regarding the quick survey questionnaires, if you have any questions, I can entertain them now because the deadline for that is November 15 and it's actually already November 11. So we only have how many days to accomplish it. But nonetheless, it's just an 8-page survey and the numbers they are just asking for the numbers. So I think you could accomplish it as soon as possible. So kindly submit them. If you have any questions, yes, sir, from JRMSU Shocon, sir. Yes,
Hello,
sir,
sir.
Eddie.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, Eddie. Good morning, sir.
I would like only to ask about the enrollment, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
enrollment, it will include the high school?
No, sir. For the enrollment, it's only for the tertiary level. Only for yes, tertiary level lang po. Hindi kasali yung ating senior high or basic or secondary or intermediate level. Only the tertiary. Sa college lang po.
Okay.
For
Thank
our
you,
data collection, yun lang ang ating concern.
Any other question coming from our participants? Yes, from SCC.
Yes,
Hello, sir. Good morning. Hello, sir.
Yes,
Good morning po. Sir, regarding po sa yung yung magjo-join po sa presentation na ganito, sir. Isang tao lang kasi, sir, yung advice mag-view. So pwede pa ba mag-invite kami ng other kasama ng mga encoders?
Okay, sir. For that, sir, actually, we advise the HEI, if possible, if you are together, to log in only to one device, tapos magbo-broadcast lang sa speaker, ganun. But kung separate kayo, yes, you may invite, but the problem is we are only limited to 100 participants per Zoom session. So that means if they will not be able to join, they can still view through our live stream via the YouTube page or the YouTube official Chedro page. So okay lang po, pero po pag pupuno na siya, pwede na po sila kahit doon na lang sa YouTube. Kung hindi naman po sila magka-question or magsasalita, pwede rin po sila sa YouTube na lang. And kayo po as the focal, you can join the Zoom session. Baka po may mga questions kayong gusto i-ask. So there is actually no problem, but we are just advising that if possible, yun lang para we could accommodate everyone to join the Zoom. Kasi po pag in one institution, if 5 po kayo ang sasali, the other slots po will be compromised. So baka hindi makasali yung ibang institution. Since we only have 100 available slots and our total institution as of the moment is around 90 na po ang HEI sa. So we only have 10 more slots available. So to include your host, your speaker, so baka mapuno po yung 100. That is why we advise kung pwede in one device and if others sa YouTube or Facebook Live na lang. So kung okay lang po sir sa inyo. Pwede naman
actually,
po.
Sir, naka-live na ba ito sir sa as of the moment kung yung sa mga discussion natin?
Yes sir, meron po tayong link na pinost sa ating chat group, even dito sa ating chat box sa Zoom, yung link for the Zoom live for this morning's session.
Sige po sir. Thank you po.
For all of our sessions po, we will be streaming them live via YouTube po. So you can always attend kung hindi po kayo maka-join or paminsan po kasi with the Zoom is mahirap makapag-join kung mahina yung signal. And pag naka-prepaid po tayo, sometimes may mga free YouTube streaming. So pwede po kayo mag-join through YouTube and then you can ask also your questions there or sa Facebook or sa chat group natin.
Sige po sir, thank you so much.
Sir, we have questions from JRMSU Main. Sir, in the survey per campus po ba ang pag-fill out or the whole JRMSU system isa lang po ang sasagot?
So for the whole, for those SUCs with ESUs, no, if you are consolidating, for the quick survey po ito. So if you are consolidating po lahat in one campus, pwede po isa lang. Pero kung meron po kayong tig-iisang data, pwede rin po per ESU ang pag-input. Kung ipapa-input nyo po yung per ESU nyo, make sure that yung main nyo hindi magdo-duplicate yung entries niya na galing from the ESU. So dapat isa-separate siya. So kung sa main lahat, pwede po main lang ang mag-answer for all na. Kung may ESU po, pwedeng mag-answer ang ESU but make sure na hindi duplicated yung data pagdating sa data ng main campus paglagay.
Okay, thank you, Sir Joti. We have another question from Colegio de la Ciudad de Zamboanga. How to download the quick survey forms, sir?
For the quick survey form po, there is a link wherein you can click to answer the quick survey form online. But there is also a link provided there wherein you can download the PDF to answer it offline just with you, but then you still have to log in and click on the link to input the data online and submit it through the Google Forms. So dapat po, we should utilize the Google Forms in inputting the data. Hindi po natin pwede i-download yung PDF tapos isasagot tapos i-email. Hindi po pwede. Dapat po through Google Forms para po kaagad siya consolidated sa database at hindi na po kailangan pa isa-isahin ng mga recipient sa central office yung mga data ng mga HEIs na pumapasok. So if through Google Forms po, doon po tayo lahat magsasubmit ng data. So there is an offline PDF of the quick survey form. You can answer it offline. But when you are going to input already your data, you still have to click on the link and answer it online and submit it online through Google Forms. Yun po yung sagot po. So I hope it answers the question.
So another question from SMC Pagadian. Good morning, sir. Kasali po ba ang ENGRA sa graduate school?
Okay, for the quick survey po, ang hiningi lang po doon kasi is first year, second year, third year, fourth year. No, hindi siya naka-specify if bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree. But then since it is talking about the enrollment in the institution, so I advise for you to include already yung ating masters and doctorate. Since number lang naman ang hinihingi and all of these students are enrolled and they are students of the institution, regardless if they are taking the bachelor's, the master's, or the doctorate degree, but they are enrolled in the institution. So kindly indicate, isali nyo na lang po siya sa total number.
So are there any more questions coming from our participants? You may raise your questions regarding our quick survey.
Yes, Sir Eddie.
Sir, good morning again. My question is about our graduates, because our graduation last year, it is falls on May, and then we'll have the lockdown during March. So we're not able to have the graduation. And shall we make it blank or make it zero in the graduates?
Sir, for the graduates, for those who you have conferred or given them the title that they are already graduates of the institution, yun po yung number na ilalagay nyo. So that means kung hindi po talaga sila graduate, that means hindi pa sila na-conferred or hindi nabigyan or na issuehan na graduates na, hindi sila dapat i-count. Pero kung kahit hindi po kayo perform ng graduation rites or walang graduation na naganap pero na-conferred na po sila, na-graduate sila ng institution, include nyo po sila doon sa number of graduates.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any more question from our participants? Questions, please? No more? So let me check our chat box kung meron pa bang mga questions. Wala na po.
Anyway, if you do not have any questions as of the moment, just make sure that for this, for the quick survey form, please ask your questions before November 15 kasi November 15 yung deadline natin. So kindly get in touch with us before then, and then by November 15 po, dapat submitted na lahat. And then for other questions, we still have naman a meeting for tomorrow and this afternoon. You can still raise them by then. So you still have time. And then for this afternoon session, I would just like to request po sa ating mga private HEIs to please inform your deans and your program heads to attend this afternoon's session, because this is very important. This is regarding the special order and those who are supposed to be evaluating the students before they are admitted to the next level. So that is why it is very important that the deans and program heads should also be there. And of course, the concern about the processing of special order, which concerns the registrar, should also be there, and the encoder or the MIS officer para po informed sila with the procedures and guidelines set by the record section of the Commission on Higher Education for the submission of the special order. So kindly inform po, please don't forget to inform your deans and program heads for this afternoon's event.
Okay, so reminder again that the deadline for our quick survey is on November 15 and that falls on Sunday. So yan po. I think we have no questions from our participants. Going once, going twice, going thrice. Wala na po. Okay, and there you have them, ladies and gentlemen. We are through with our morning session, and should you have further questions, you may contact us through 993-5223 or email us at ched9@ched.gov.ph, or you can chat us through Facebook Messenger and raise your questions through that.
Before we end pala, can I request na we'll have a photo taking muna. And then for your certificate of participation or attendance, it will be given po sa day 2 na at the session for the private and for the SUC. So as of today po, wala po muna tayo kasi by the second day pa po namin ibibigay yung link for you to register for your certificate of participation.
Okay, as mentioned before, we will end this morning session. May I request everyone to please turn on your videos for the photo op. Ayan. So Sir Sid will be facilitating for the photo op. Okay, again, may I request everyone to please turn on your videos for the photo op. Ayan. So virtual na lang po tayo. Ganito na lang po ang magiging photo op natin. Maraming salamat po. So ready na po ba lahat? Okay. Let's just wait for the others. Meron pa pong naka-off pa yung videos nila, yung camera nila. Again, please be reminded that we are requesting you to turn on your videos for the photo op. Thank you.
Okay po, 4 times po tayo mag-smile. 4 pages po tayo meron. Okay, first page po. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, wait lang po. Okay, second. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Smile lang po tayo. Ito. Okay, next. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, last one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay na po.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us again. This is the reminder for our AM and PM session. For this afternoon session, our attendees will be the registrars, deans, and program heads. For tomorrow, for the morning session, we have private higher education institutions and local universities and colleges. Our attendees would be registrars, MIS officers, encoders, human resource management officers. And for the afternoon, we have for state universities and colleges, our attendees will be the registrars, MIS officers, encoders, research and extension, focal person or director, accountant, budget officer, and human resource management officer. So thank you so much for being with us. Marami pong salamat and stay safe. This is JB Regalado, your host. See you this afternoon. Maraming salamat po.
For this afternoon po, we will be starting by 1 p.m. po. So 1 p.m. po for the afternoon session. And hopefully next year, may summit tayo. Yung face-to-face na. Pasensya na ngayon, hindi tayo pwede mag-face-to-face. So virtual na lang po. So maraming salamat everyone for those who attended this morning. And see you this afternoon.
Hello. May I remind the register to please remind your deans because we already posted the information, but because of the short time, kindly remind them to be present this afternoon. Thank you.